What's up, guys? Welcome to the comic book review. My name is Dylan.
I'm Cash.
And this is the Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, issue number 1 review. So when we get the opening, we get to see not a lot of color. There's not a whole lot of visual pop out on the very first page. We get a lot of black and white, which kind of introduces us to the rest of the issue and what's kind of going through Iron Fist's head at the moment. He's very empty. He's very black and white. This is a different Iron Fist than we're used to.
It shows him looking back in his memories, and it shows him walking on a mountain with his parents and their tour guide, who is also the dad's business partner.
What I really like about this Iron Fist, and what I really like about this kind of bust into a number 1 issue, is that it's almost like it's starting a fandom in the beginning. We're getting a lot of backstory. It's showing everything that kind of made Iron Fist in the beginning, showing how he got to Kunlun. It's showing backstory on his dad, it's showing backstory on his mom. We're getting a lot of information so that we can start up a brand new series.
It's basically like restarting Iron Fist. Iron Fist hasn't had many solo series on his own. He's usually partnered up with Luke Cage and they're the Heroes for Hire.
What we really get from this one is we see a lot into the past of his family. You get to see his dad almost breaking down. You almost get to see his dad snap into insanity. And the very last scene, you see the tour guide shooting a flare up into the air and causing an avalanche, and you get to see kind of a very Bruce Wayne moment for Iron Fist. You get to see his mother dying, you get to see his father dying, you get to see the tour guide dying. You get to see pretty much the end of everything that was his childhood.
Very traumatic stuff. In this next scene, you see that Danny is in a very, he's sitting down at dinner and having an interview with this very superficial woman. And she's saying, oh my god, my girlfriends are never going to believe who I got to be in an interview with. I'm interviewing a superhero that's super hot right now. Is saying that he has money, powers, and then emphasis on the powers. And he doesn't have any kids and he's not married. It makes him a valuable thing to women. It says, what is it like to have everything? What is it like to own your own company, your own penthouse, and your own car? I bet you drive an Audi. And she's like, no, even if you drove a Mercedes, that would be fine with me.
You really see an empty shell of an Iron Fist, and it's not something that necessarily we're used to seeing from Iron Fist. He's usually such an upbeat and happy character. In the bar, you see him go home with the woman, and it's yet again not something you expect from Iron Fist. He's taking pills that won't help him sleep. He's brushing his teeth. He's banging this lady. Brushing his teeth again. You shouldn't brush your teeth that much. It's bad for your gums. I don't think he realizes that.
Then he's just going over in his head how it's just his daily life, training regimen, routine, and you just see him after he's banged this chick, he's just sitting on the bed overlooking his former business tower, Rand Industries tower, and it's just torn apart, but it's still structurally stable, so he hasn't torn it down yet. And then it goes over back into his memories where he's remembering all his parents about to die, and there's an avalanche just coming down on all of them. And he says, I remember the screaming. I thought it was my mother at first, and then I thought it was myself. A high-pitched, desperate shrill, but it wasn't either of us. It was my father.
He has his father's eyes, and I feel like that's yet another thing that it's another dark aspect adding into this Iron Fist. The colors, the red, the black and white, it has been such a dark issue, and it's just something that it's not the official Iron Fist. Kind of shows the training regimen again, right up until he jumps straight out the window of his penthouse, finally kind of getting back into what you would expect from Iron Fist, spontaneity, doing something just totally badass.
All these ninjas getting ready to attack his building, and he just gets the jump on them, and you see these Apache helicopters. It's pretty much a ninja army that just came up and started to try and attack him.
This is where Iron Fist really got interesting for me. How can you introduce ninjas into a story and it not be interesting? I feel like they're pulling out all the stops for a ninja Iron Fist battle.
And then it shows him just fighting these ninjas, and he finally, for the first time in the issue, you see a grin on his face. He's like, this is just what I needed. I'm the living weapon. You see him running on the sides of walls while the ninjas are firing at him with guns. And you see him charge up his fist. And he's like, I am the masochist and the narcissist, rigid and fluid, corrupt and pure. I am a white-hot, clenched fist of rage.
Clenched fist of rage. It's his masturbation hand. On the next page, you see just absolute destruction. Destruction of the helicopter to the presumably destruction of everything else. You see a white-hot explosion, and then you see it raining fire and death down from the sky.
You just see Iron Fist just hanging on by a little piece of metal on the side of a building.
The end of the issue is when things really start to pick up. He climbs back up into the tower, and all he can manage to say is crap, as he sees a zombie ninja holding on to the girl that he brought home, asking the girl, where is the girl? And it's at this point when his chi powers start to decide not to work anymore, and of all the lines that he could have possibly picked, of all the lines that they could have written in, they go with crappity crap.
It's a great masterpiece. That is just...
That's so well written. The zombie ninja is super interested in the girl that he's looking for. And I mean, it's still really focused on this red art, this blood color. They're still trying to leave absence of color into it. And it looks awesome. You've seen a zombie stretch 15 feet apart his freaking head because Iron Fist shoves a foot right up into the top of his jaw.
Yeah, and then you finally, when this fight starts, you get some of the wittiness of Iron Fist. He kind of does crack jokes. And then you see this woman pop up, and he's charging up his fist, and he's about to slice into her with his white-hot flaming fist of rage.
He goes to bitch slap that girl!
And he stops right before he's about to hit her, just stops right in her face. And then she's like, stop, I just came to send a message. You have to return to Kunlun. But as she's saying that, you see her from behind, and she has just been shot full of arrows, and that's the girl they were talking about coming to get, not this woman he was sleeping with.
Iron Fist is going home.
Yes.
And I feel like that's really setting up for him to kind of fix himself. Maybe he'll find some inner peace. Maybe he'll find what he's looking for.
Seems like he's been away from Kunlun for a while, and he needs to go back and do some more training or just like reflection, bring back the old Danny Rand, and not be so depressed anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice in this book to maybe see him evolve from whatever he has become, this empty shell, back into the Danny that we all know and love. And, I mean, it would be really nice to see for the evolution of this story just how things go. And, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video to help support the channel.
And remember to stay thirsty.